And that's what's happening right now. Is there's not enough healing going on in the world. There's a lot of tyrant behavior. It feels like democracy and the word democracy has lost its pizzazz that it once had. I don't even know if it had pizzazz, right? I don't know, but like living here has taught me that I have to be aware of all things going on. And it doesn't mean I know everything. It just means I need to have an awareness of trying to learn all things that are going on from other people. How you learn all things, you learn from people. You have to be a life experience person. You can't just be closed off all the time, because uncomfortable conversations lead to growth and getting to know someone better, right? The fact that we have to watch innocent people being murdered because they're a different religion or they have different beliefs or something in their faith tells them that it's okay to treat someone a certain type of way. That's not okay. Like, and we're witnessing things happening where it's hard not to talk about it, but it's also taboo to talk about it. So again, I talk in these, they may seem superficial, but those that know, right? We have a bigger responsibility out here to continue to spread that truth, continue to put God first in our endeavors while also maintaining a faith that does not allow us to demean, to degrade, to destroy anyone else's culture, anyone else's livelihood, anyone else's family lineage. You don't think that seeing murder gives us all PTSD? I know you guys are seeing what's going on in Twitter. I can go through my saved, videos on Twitter, on Instagram, or whatever, right? Fan base, whatever it is. And you're gonna see the violence that takes place. And I can't, I'm obviously very in tune with making sure that all this stuff is not violating any age rules and stuff like that, violations. But also, I'm making sure that these things still do get seen and people know about them. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I can do because, to be honest with you, we are in a new generation. We are in a new timeline. We have shifted into a whole new timeline where, everybody put in the chat. Everybody put in the chat. It's Yeah, no, it is terrible seeing all this stuff, you guys. It is. You know what I mean? Like it is. It is. Free Sudan, free Congo, free Ethiopia, free Palestine, free the Israeli hostages, free Black people that are incarcerated, free everyone that is dealing with oppression and some type of capacity where their government is not giving them what they need. We have a job to do to not only advocate for that freedom, but to to step up. Like, and our kids, of course, are gonna do what they can, but it's our job as elders or older people to show them that some things are bigger than just your own emotions towards being right or wrong. Like it's okay to advocate for people that look like you. They're human. They may be a different color. They may believe different things, but it's okay to advocate for peace. It's okay to advocate for war stopping. It's okay to advocate for, the right things that historically have told us that we as humans should not allow others to treat other human beings like that, right? And this started, right? And again, this conversation started when I first got the internet bug. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's got the internet bug, right? Shout out to everybody that got the internet bug when they were younger, because I used to sit at my computer all day and just be like, okay, Yahoo News, okay, this AOL.com, okay. Like, you know what I mean? I had to do current events. We had current events in social studies. It was how do you manage learning about someone else's culture while you're in school, but yet the questions that you have about where you come from, they can't be answered. I grew up in West Orange, New Jersey. Shout out to everybody from Jersey that's in the chat. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's from Jersey in the chat. Growing up in Jersey was like growing up with a veil over my eyes for a long period of time. I had no idea New Jersey had so much history, preferably a lot of history that is ugly, to be honest with you. Shout out to all my people that's from Jersey. Like, I think it's on PBS there, and I think it's for free. You can go on it, and it talks about the enslaved African Americans or enslaved black people here in Jersey. And while I was growing up in Jersey, I had no fucking idea that was going on. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea that was going on. I had no idea that was going on. And I apologize if, to all my elders and all my ancestors for not knowing. But, it was crazy because growing up, we never were taught in social studies or in history class that there were slave owners here in Jersey and that New Jersey was the last northern state to abolish slavery. When I think about that in its own aspect, and then you think about, I do my best to tell, my dad's generation, right? We're all part of the same generation, but my dad's generation, like 60 years ago wasn't that long ago. 1965, how was that? And then go 60 years prior to that, 1905, and then go 60 years prior to that. You could imagine you could follow a trail of just indoctrination and brainwashing. You can follow the trail of like, let's not tell these brown people that we enslaved them. And if you knew that, and if you're not part of the race, right? If you're not part of the black race, fine. But I'm saying you can inject yourself into this conversation with respect. It's just, I'm telling you this because there are a lot of people out here that have minds that are brainwashed and indoctrinated. And the internet, that's the negative side of it. A lot of history has been lost, and a lot of history has been covered up. A lot of history has been burned to the ground. A lot of the internet platforms that allow us onto their, a lot of the companies that allow us onto their platform, I'm not blaming them, but I'm saying they are doing what they were designed to do, which is they put out a certain amount of history for you to get very close, and then you start unraveling like, oh shit, like they started something different with this. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, they did something different. They completely whitewashed the whole thing where we don't even know who was there anymore. And being a New Jersey resident, I could speak on these things because like I had no idea. And you could call it me being ignorant, but that's part of the reason why the last few years have been different for me is because I was learning all this history that I didn't have the privilege or the time to go access. All right.